Audience, this is Providence CNN News. I'm Kelly Arnold.
And I'm Stephen Mantigas, and today we're going to be talking about the energy consumption in the United States.
Our first topic is nuclear energy. Some of the pros are that it takes less uranium, about a teaspoon, to about 2,000 pounds of coal. So that you have to use less uranium to make the same amount of coal energy that you would to use coal. And then it also has less greenhouse gas emissions because it doesn't have to be burned, and a lot of the emissions don't come off as harmful to the environment, and they're diluted.
So a little bit about the cons. You can't really build a power plant on the fault line because there's always a risk of an earthquake, and if that were to happen, then it would damage a power plant, which could end up in a tragedy.
So for our next section, we're going to talk about renewable resources. Our first topic is going to be solar energy. Some of the pros are that it's non-pollutant and it doesn't put out any greenhouse gases or affect the environment at all. And it can also be used in remote locations, which means that a lot of different people can use it in a lot of different places, and they're all able to power energy in this new way that doesn't pollute our earth. And then Stephen has some of the cons for us.
Alright, some cons. Some panels can cost over $1,000, which is a lot of money for the average American in the middle class. Solar panels can only generate during the daytime, which means it stores energy for the nighttime.
Okay, so our next section is wind energy. To make wind energy, turbines are spun by the wind in a huge field that creates the energy, and some of the pros are that it's green, it causes no pollution or burning emissions that like coal does, and it also the generation costs are low for creating these wind turbines, and it doesn't take a lot of money to put them up, and they can also be used in a great number. And then you can power up to 600 homes per each large wind turbine, which is a lot of energy for only one thing to create. And Stephen will tell us the cons again.
Alright, some cons are a big effect in this is sometimes the wind can fluctuate. The wind could be blowing 30 miles an hour, and the next day it could be blowing 5. And another con would be the noise. So if we started building a lot of turbines around the city area, then it would make a lot of noise and it would disrupt the houses and the people. And sometimes the turbines are a threat to wildlife. It kills an average of 3 birds per year, which is definitely something to consider when you're putting up that much turbines.
Last section is hydroelectricity. This is used when water comes through dams and it spins turbines, creating energy for cities and people to use. And the pros are that it's really cheap after the dam is built. It costs almost no money to operate it, and there's a constant source of energy because the water is always flowing, and you don't have to do anything you don't have to make any mines or use any energy and use manpower to create it because it's just already going. And then there's no harmful emissions because nothing is burning and nothing is being released into the air. And there's also low cost after it's built, which I already said. And yeah, that's a really big pro for the hydroelectricity. And Stephen will have the cons.
Alright, so some of the cons are if a drought were to occur in this situation, that the dams would be pretty much completely useless. And this also is an effect to the wildlife. So some dams prevent the fish from moving upstream, which could cause the fish to settle in different areas, and this could create like a new species of fish. And it takes a lot of money to build a dam. I mean, it's not cheap. You have to, it just takes a lot of money, so it's not a very reliable source.
So if we had to recommend an energy source for North Carolina, we would choose the renewable energy source wind energy because there's a lot of space for wind farms to be built, and the pros farly outnumber the cons, and it would be a really great source of energy for North Carolina to use.